All right. Hi. We're here for Underground Season 1, Episode 5, Run and Gun. So, it opens with $1,000 plus expenses, dead or alive, put on the head of each member of the Macon 7, and it closes with the murder of a mama. And in between, we realize that Ernestine is a gangster. We see Kato sell out Zeke, and we learn that Pearly May is mixed. So if you want more spoilers and more of this review and recap, stay tuned. All right, thanks for joining me. Please like, subscribe, share. So again, we open with the listing of the Macon 7 monster. Tom Macon is listing and describing each of the human beings who have thankfully managed to escape from his plantation, work, camp, torture chamber, hellhole, piece of shit place, and they're on the run, trying to maintain their freedom. August, we see a juxtaposition of August teaching his son to analyze some tracks in the floor. He's in the ground. He's come across where the Macon 7 kind of were, and he's August is analyzing what's going on, and he's teaching his son his skill in analyzing what's going on. There's tension in the group. August can tell. We see that play out. Moses is pissed off about Pearly May, just upset, and other people are too upset about Noah leaving early. They had a plan, and he just threw it all to shit for Miss Ladybug Rosalie. So the train is introduced by Kato. He says that Ernestine told him about the train, so he thinks that they should do that. And it seems like the tide of the group has kind of shifted so that, in a way, I don't want to say that Kato is the leader of the group, but definitely Noah's leadership has eroded some. They decide to go to Frog Jack's place. Moses had some connection with him from before he was on the Macon plantation in order to get information about how to get to the train, how to get on the train in order to get a plan. While they're inside of Frog Jack's house talking to Frog Jack, August and his son have set up a trap so that the son is going to shoot through the front door to flush him out the back door where super slave catcher August can get him. We see in this scene Rosalie, Henry, and Moses are outside, and we get to see the yellow ribbon make another appearance, and we also get to see another example of Zeke's sensitivity when he sees Boo is nervous and upset and perhaps hungry, and he gives her a peach, and it's a really sweet moment. We love Zeke. Zeke is the man. He's got a lot of heart. Master Macon, Tom Macon, Monster Macon has become much more suspicious of, how long have they been planning this? Everybody's against me. He's been feeling relaxed, I guess, for the last 20 years or more and more relaxed. And he's still a little too relaxed for my liking. But he asked everybody to leave the room so he can talk to his wife. And he asked his wife to talk to Pearly May, woman to woman, and because they have some things in common. And he said he gonna talk to every slave on the plantation. He gonna get to the bottom of it. He gonna figure out where they are. Meanwhile, we see that Pearly May has been strung up on the cross, and she's outside in the hot sun. She's been beat. We can see it on her face later on. We see her back is injured, but the injuries on her back look old. They don't look fresh. So I don't know if those are supposed to be fresh injuries or not. And maybe I don't even know what a fresh injury look like. Ain't nobody ever beat me. So shoot, I don't know. They drag Pearly May off the cross and into the house and bathe her and dress her up, and she's like, what's going on? Ernestine coaches Pearly May in terms of saying, all I know is, they want to talk to you. This is what Tom Macon is going to do. She's just giving her, all her experience with him, coaching her in terms of how to handle him, how to make him feel grateful, what he's going to say, what he's going to do. So, and then the bathtub is introduced. We see that bathtub or bathing carry forth as a theme in the film. So this in the TV show. So this is the first time I've seen it. Kato continues to be sweetness and light. And when we learn from Frog Jack, they learn from Frog Jack that each of them has $1,000 bounty on their head. And the group gets some relief from August because the people who August had sweet-talked the woman away from, who they were trying to catch her, they feel like he stole some of that money from them. So now they are... I'm looking at my timer. I don't know what that means. But anyway, now they feel, they've been tracking him and they feel like they're going to beating him up. His son intercedes, holds a gun to the guy, and gives his father some relief. So we see that. We see Tom Macon in his talking to every slave or enslaved person on his work camp, plantation, whatever, that Tom has Sam come up and he's talking to Sam, and Sam, he's holding a gun while he's talking to Sam. Sam thinks he's about to get killed. He's nervous, he's stressed out, and it turns out that the master is kind of confiding in Sam and just trying to understand what went wrong and how come, that things aren't going the way that he thought that they were going on the plantation. What is he missing? And he's just confused because he thought he knew everything. So Sam is not going to get shot, he realized. And then there's a really, really bold moment, I thought, when Tom Macon gives Sam the gun and lets him, tells him how to shoot it. And then he stands with his back to the man. So that's kind of bold. And the man Sam was thinking about killing him. I guess he decided not to. He didn't have the nerve to. But one of my favorite quotes from Sam happens in this scene. Sam says, people surprise you. Sometimes you even surprise yourself. Think you one way and then find out you ain't. And I was just like, yep, that sure is true. And I think that's what Sam is experiencing. We see the Macon 7 waiting to get on the train. They've split up. The catchers were after them, so they decided to split up. So they decide to split up. Kato ends up going with Zeke, and he shoots Zeke so that Zeke can fight off the people who are after him, and so Kato can get away. And Zeke fights till the end. They shoot him. They axe him in the back, and he's still fighting. And even after all of that, he chokes one of them out. Kills him. It looks like he kills him with his bare hands, even after he's been shot several times, and has an axe in his back, which he's pulled out. And Super Slave Catcher August and his son Ben are watching the end part of this. Ben, kind of wants to go forward. His father, August, holds him back. When Zeke notices them, he starts coming toward them, but they basically watch him expire. So his, he just... So they, cha-ching, they done, August done got $1,000. I guess if he can get the body back to the Macon plantation. Dinner for Pearlie Mae is actually not with Tom Macon, but surprise, surprise, it's with his wife, Susanna. And she offers freedom papers to Pearlie Mae and Boo, but not to Moses. And we find out that they are sisters and were playmates. So even though Pearlie Mae does not look like what we typically have come to think of as mixed, Pearlie Mae is, mixed. So that was kind of like a surprise to me, and I thought that was a good move because, a lot of times people, you can't tell to look at somebody what their heritage is, what their background is. Rosalie is doing some healing work. She's so witchy. Moses has been shot when they were in Frog Jack's house, and they flushed him out the son Ben shot through the front door as his father instructed him 3 times so that the men inside would run out the back door and August could catch him. Henry peeps that action and is like, he's flushing you out. But meanwhile, Moses has gotten shot. He has a wound. He can't carry the baby. When they split up, Rosalie is carrying Miss Boo. And he's hurting from his gunshot, and Rosalie says that she saw some devil snare, so she gonna go get the devil snare. And he's upset. Oh, my life is just, God don't hear me. He don't answer my prayers. Things are jacked up. I don't have Pearlie Mae with me. I can't even carry my baby. And Rosalie does some healing work on his spirit as well, and kind of has him look at his baby. And she like, well, what do you see? And he's like, I see Pearlie. I see Pearlie Mae. She's like, yeah, Pearlie Mae and your baby is strong. You don't have to worry about carrying her to freedom. She's going to carry you to freedom. I'm like, do that healing work, girl. Do that healing work, girl. Ben mumbles. This is kind of looping back to when we see Zeke expire. August gets distracted and goes off and he's watching Rosalie, who's picking devil snare to put on Moses's wound, and Ben mumbles, we should have helped Zeke, basically, instead of watching him die. August engages Rose and says, I got your friend, and he's playing his regular or his stick. We've seen this stick before of I'm your friend, I'm here to help you, the Blue Ridge Mountains. And she's like, the Blue Ridge Mountains, the blue haze. She's realizing from the song, okay, that's what the blue haze is. But she's like, but we changed our plan and we're going to get on the train. And then he's like, well, I could put you in my wagon. And all of a sudden she just realizes, dang, he not here to help. He's, he trying to get me. And so she runs. Her hair gets caught in the thorns, and and so she kind of gets a little delayed. But we see Noah and Henry at the water tower waiting. The train is there. Cato comes. No Zeke. Cato is like, well, we fought, but Zeke didn't make it. And Noah is looking like, yeah, I don't believe you worth a gosh darn. I don't believe you worth a goddamn. And he shouldn't. Then Moses and Boo come. They say they don't know where Rose is. Then Rose comes. She lets them know the catcher knows about the train. And we get more sweetness and light from Mr. Cato about, her foolishness. And they run toward the train, and they, Noah's like, we just going to have another plan. That's all. Pearlie Mae asserts when Ernestine comes in to serve her tea that Miss Susanna, she's been served dinner. Susanna came in and said, look, this is the deal. Our father didn't care about you. He didn't care about me. We women have to look out for ourselves. Your husband left you, to stand between the slave catchers and your baby. He ain't even stand up for you. He ain't shit. Our daddy ain't shit. She honest. And that's what Pearlie Mae says when Ernestine is like, you can't believe Miss Susanna. She not going to give you freedom. Pearlie Mae is like, yeah, I can believe her, and I can read. I can read the papers. I taught myself to read. And she may be a lot of things, Susanna, but she is honest. Ernestine proceeds to serve Pearlie Mae tea and would just relax herself. She had there had been a meal laid out. I don't know if she ate a meal or not, her last meal. Ernestine and Pearlie Mae are talking, and Pearlie Mae is like, Tom Macon ain't like Earl, who is Pearlie Mae's father. Blood means something to him, to Tom. He didn't put Rosalie in the field when she got too old to play with Miss Mary. What happened with Pearlie Mae is that when she got too old to play with Miss Susanna, they put her in the field. I hadn't really been, it hadn't been clear to me the whole season that Rosalie was Tom's son, but now I know that Rosalie is Tom's son. I know it. So all of this Macon 7 have made it to the train minus Zeke. So we're Macon 6 now because Zeke has expired. God rest his soul. And August is at the train because Miss Ladybug, Rosalie, has let him know where they're going. And they're up above the train. He can't see him, and then he realizes, oh, they're up above the train. He senses it. He gets a clue, whatever. He starts shooting up there. the group has to sacrifice the group so that Moses and baby Boo can get on the train. So Noah has Moses jump on the train, and then they throw Boo to Moses, and then the rest of them, they just gonna have to find. They just gonna have to find their way, north how best they can. The last scene, I don't know if it's the last scene exactly, but the most powerful scene is, the mothers are talking, Rosalie and Pearlie Mae, and Pearlie Mae is like, shoot, I'm signing these papers. I thought my husband was the best chance for my daughter, but I'm the best chance for my daughter. And surely, Miss Ernestine, you understand looking after yours. You understand me looking after mine and doing whatever I can do to protect my daughter. And Ernestine says, yes, I do. And then at that moment, Pearlie Mae dies, and we realize that the tea that Ernestine served her was poison. And so Pearlie Mae is dead. Ernestine takes her wrist and slits it, as we see a shot of blood dripping out of her wrist and onto the floor. And it's like the freedom papers are on one side. We had seen that in one shot. And then on the other side, her blood has made kind of the same type of shape, that red seal, as the wax seal that's on the master seal. So it looks like a suicide, but we now know that Miss Ernestine is gangster. So that is episode Gangster. That's episode We Know Kato is Ruthless. If we had any thoughts before, we know that. And also there was a part when Moses, not Moses, but Zeke stepped in between Noah and Kato. And Noah is a little bigger than Kato. So Zeke was kind of protecting Kato. And, I don't know if it was hard for Kato to sacrifice him or not, but Kato sacrificed his behind. So that is episode 5 of season 1 of Underground Run and Gun. Again, thanks for watching, subscribing, liking, sharing. Were you shocked? Were you, I don't know. But that's it. We continue with Underground, looking forward again to the new season starting. Have a fabulous, wonderful evening. I'm on my way to rehearsal. And be you, be fabulous, you. Mwah.